The night I returned home, the wind howled through the skeletal trees, a mournful dirge that echoed the disdain I had endured for years. I stepped onto the cracked pavement of our old driveway, every stone underfoot crumbling like the reputation I once carried with me. I could still hear my family's laughter ringing in my ears, mocking me like a persistent phantom. "You're losing your mind. You'll disgrace us." "What's next? You'll talk to the bugs?" But I wasn't a deluded child anymore. I was a world-renowned parasitic ecologist. The door creaked open, and I was once again enveloped by the stale air of familiarity, rich with the scent of old family dinners and faded arguments. My brother Tom emerged from the living room, the look on his face shifting from surprise to apprehension. "What the hell are you doing here?" he snapped, masking shock with sarcasm. "I came to show you," I said, my voice low, barely above a whisper. "I came to show you what I found." My sister, Lily, shuffled in behind him, her expression morphing into a mix of disbelief and curiosity. "You mean your bugs?" she laughed, but the sound was hollow, tinged with something like fear. "Not just bugs anymore, Lily," I replied, a slow, deliberate smile creeping across my face. "There's so much more than that." I reached into my worn leather satchel and pulled out a small, translucent vial filled with a viscous, dark fluid that seemed to pulse with life. The dim light refracted through it, casting ghastly shadows on the wall behind me. "These parasites, they change everything," I said, my voice steady despite the tremor in my hands. As the words left my mouth, I could feel the unsettling weight of their skepticism hanging in the air. For years, I had been the eccentric black sheep, the child who was obsessed with the unseen world until it consumed me. I had transformed from the family embarrassment into an expert, a visible testament of what lay beneath our ignorance. Yet they couldn't see it. Not yet. "Look, this is ridiculous," Tom scoffed. "You've always been obsessed with these stupid ideas. Have you lost it for real this time? What are you trying to prove?" "Tom, Lily, please." My voice cracked. "You need to understand. What I've discovered is not just academic. It's alive, it's dangerous, and it wants to be seen." With that, I placed the vial gently on the table and stepped back, watching their expressions shift from mocking disbelief into a subtle tension, like a taut wire before it snaps. I had been their laughingstock, but my collection had thrived, feeding from what they couldn't fathom. "Do you know what it means when these parasites start feeding off the land?" I asked, my eyes darting between them. "They create a network, an intelligence that can manipulate reality itself. You've mocked me for so long, but what I've learned is beyond your comprehension." And then the ground beneath us groaned. It started as a low rumble, an ancient sound echoing from the depths, and I could see the fear flicker in their eyes. The wooden floorboards creaked beneath our feet, a warning sign that something was amiss. Before I could fully process it, the room was filled with the sound of scuttling, from beneath the cracks, from the walls, from the very ground itself. The dark fluid in the vial began to pulse more rapidly, as if responding to the chaos. What's happening?" Lily stammered, her bravado slipping away like sand through fingers. "The parasites," I breathed, a thrill of dread washing over me. "They're coming." As if summoned by my words, the floor erupted. A grotesque mass of writhing tendrils and shapes emerged, pulling themselves from the earth, as if the very foundation of our home had betrayed us. They twisted and contorted, growing into forms that defied comprehension, crawling up the walls and advancing toward us, propelled by a hunger for recognition. "Get back!" Tom shouted, his bravado shattered as he pushed Lily behind him. But it was too late. The creatures, and they were no longer just insects, spilled forth, spiraling around us like viscous shadows. Each tendril radiated an agonizing familiarity, and I felt an involuntary pulse of connection surge through me, a bond that was as terrible as it was profound. My family's laughter faded into silence as they recoiled, their disbelief replaced by raw fear and revelation. I watched as horror washed over their faces, the mocking turned to pleading, and finally to something like comprehension. "No, no, this can't be real," Tom shouted, his voice trembling, his bravado completely stripped away. "You did this!" "No," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. "You did. You mocked what you didn't understand, and now it's here, drawn to you." As they stumbled back, the waves of parasites coiled around them, a reminder of every derisive word they had hurled at me. Their faces paled, and I found myself wondering if they finally saw the stakes of their ignorance, the horrifying cost of their unbelief. And then, as quickly as it began, it ended. The tendrils retreated, the sound of their retreat echoing like a distant whisper, leaving behind nothing but their fear, and mine. I watched their faces reflect the dawning reality. I had survived what they had thought was impossible. I had embraced the dark knowledge they feared, and in doing so, I had become their warning, a testament to the unseen horrors that lurked just beneath the surface. As I turned to leave, the weight of my family's disbelief hung in the air, heavy and haunting. My vindication felt bittersweet, wrapped in a cloak of shadows. "Next time," I said softly, glancing back at their haunted expressions, "don't turn away so quickly. Some truths are lurking just beneath our feet, waiting for someone brave enough to expose them." With that, I stepped back into the night, a reminder of their past and the reminder that sometimes disbelief carries a heavy price. As I walked away, the shadows of my family's home swallowed me whole, leaving behind the echo of a truth they could no longer ignore.